What's up, you guys? It's Isaac with a chance here, back for my next Transformers toy video review. And today, we're going to be looking at the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Smokescreen from Transformers Prime. So for the package, you got this very cool open the window to showcase the Smokescreen right inside. You get an artwork image of Smokescreen in his robot mode, his vehicle mode, and you get his 20 steps right about here. You get his name, Smokescreen, next to the Autobot logo. There's the Transformers Age of the Prime's text logo there. He is from Transformers Prime, and he was made by Hasbro. On this side, you get another image of Smokescreen, and you get an artwork image of Transformers Age of the Primes. For the back of the box, you get Smokescreen in his robot mode, his vehicle mode, and he transforms in 20 steps. So for the package of Smokescreen, that's about it. So let me get him out here and see how awesome and Transformers Prime accurate he actually is. So here's Smokescreen open up in his package and also in his vehicle mode. And I will say the vehicle mode looks pretty damn amazing and is also pretty faithful of Smokescreen's vehicle mode from Transformers Prime. And it's inspired by a McLaren, and also it looks like a race car as well. So as we take a look at the color scheme for the vehicle mode, the white, the silver, the blue, the red, and the gray, and the black color scheme that's integrated on the vehicle mode works perfectly well. And also, it does most likely match from what the color scheme on Smokescreen's vehicle mode looks like in the actual series. And what I really like about the color scheme here, I think it does most likely match from what we've seen in Transformers Prime. And also the color scheme, it feels more solid, it feels more sturdy on each single angle of the vehicle mode. Everything about the color scheme here stays on perfectly well. And he does have the Autobot symbol slapping and centered on this front section here. And what really impresses me the most, he does have the number 38 on the doors on each side. And this really impresses me a lot. Now, if y'all remember the Transformers Earthrise Smokescreen from a couple of years ago, he had like the number 80. He does have like the number 80 on his doors. But with this version of Smokescreen from Transformers Prime, he does have the number 38 on the doors. Not only the numbers are pretty much accurate to the G1 from the G1 cartoon, but it's also pretty much accurate to the Transformers Prime animated series. And I think the number 38 on the doors on each side look well integrated. I also do like the way they put most of the patterns. On each side of the doors, and they did, and also basically I feel like the details for the doors look well integrated. And speaking of the details on each single angle of the vehicle mode lines up perfectly well. I like the way they lined up most of the details, and also it's well sculpted, and also the components on here look well done. But for the rest of the vehicle mode, it looks pretty damn good, and I think this actually does, and I think the vehicle mode here looks well done, and I think they really captured the likeness of this vehicle mode from the series perfectly well. And I think that's all I can say for the vehicle mode. And he does come with two accessories. He does come with these two ion blaster pieces. He does come with these two hand ion blasters here. And to be honest, they do look pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just that they're not really accurate to the Transformers Prime show. These are not the hand blasters that we've seen him use in Transformers Prime. These are pretty much different. With these are something I'll just have to get used to, but don't get me wrong, they do look pretty cool. I do like the color scheme for the silver and the white for these ion blaster pieces here. And what can you do with these? What's pretty much interesting is that you can actually port them on the back of the vehicle mode. So in this peg will slot in here, so you just want to just peg this one into place. Do the same thing on the opposite side. You want to peg this one into place, and there you have it. And now He's ready for a need for speed. And this looks cool, but they do actually stick out. They do stick out all the way, but overall this does look pretty cool, and it looks like he's about to go fast. And that is pretty much all I can say for that. And he comes with his menu. And he comes with his instructions. So it's up to you if you want to put him in his robot mode or his vehicle mode, however you want it. So I'm going to go ahead and take these pieces off and set them off to the side. So I guess that pretty much wraps it up for the vehicle mode and the accessories. So let's get into transformation for Smokescreen. So the transformation is very simple. So first what you want to do is you want to come around here and you want to open up the door section just like that. Do the same thing on the opposite side. You want to come around to the back section and you want to just rotate it back just like that. You want to come around to the front and you want to take this front section and you want to just rotate it upwards just like so. And you want to take the top section here and you want to just rotate it forward just like that. So to come down here to the legs, what you want to do is you want to separate the two halves, which will become his legs. And what you want to do, you want to just rotate the foot down just like that. Do the same thing on the opposite side. And you want to take the ankle section here, you want to just rotate it down, and you want to just rotate this section forward just like so, and rotate this section back up. And you want to take this leg piece right about here, and you want to just rotate it forward just like that. And you want to just rotate all of this down until this section here clicks back just like that. And you want to close the leg up just like so. Now do the same thing on the opposite side. You want to take the ankle section here and just rotate it down. You want to rotate this piece forward. You want to take this leg piece here and just rotate it down just like so. And you want to take all of this and just rotate it down just like so. And you want to take this section here and just close it back up just like that. So now you got the legs all done. So now to come up here to the top section, what you want to do is you want to take this piece here. You just want to just rotate it upwards just to get it out of the way. You want to separate the arm sections just like that. You want to take this piece here and you just want to just rotate it forward just to reveal the head sculpt. And you want to just take the head sculpt and just rotate it forward just like that. And rotate and straighten out the arms just like that. Straighten out the arms and rotate them down just like that. And you want to take this hood section here and you want to just rotate it down just like that. And with the doors, you can do whatever you want with them. I would just rotate them back just like this. And last but definitely not least is you want to take the hands, you want to take the fist, and you want to just rotate them outwards just like so, just like that. And you want to double check everything, and it looks like we are done. So when you're done, there you have Smokescreen in his robot mode. So here's Smokescreen in his robot mode, and I think he looks pretty damn good. But there are some things about the robot mode that could have used some improvements. There are some things I like and some things I might not like about the robot mode. But starting off with is the positives. Well, some positives. So with the biggest positives for the robot mode is the color scheme. The color scheme they have for the robot mode is basically the same for the vehicle mode. He does have the white, the silver, the gray, and the blue, and the red, and the black color scheme that's integrated on the robot mode. Works perfectly well. So with the color scheme here, I think it does most likely match the color scheme of what Smokescreen's robot mode looks like from the series. And I think they captured the likeness of the color scheme here perfectly well. The color scheme here feels more solid, it feels more sturdy, and everything for the color scheme stays on perfectly well. And the other positives for the robot mode is this relic piece here. Now, if you don't know what this relic piece is, this is actually called the face shifter, and this is one of the relics that he used in Optimus Prime, and this is what he used. So what I really like about the face shifter here, it's well sculpted with the metallic gunmetal silver, and also it is well sculpted with some amazing details. And honestly, it would be nice if it was actually one. It would actually be nice if it was actually one of the accessories for Smokescreen, but instead they actually decided to attach it on his wrist section here, and it actually works perfectly well. I like the way it's well sculpted. The color scheme looks nice, and that is pretty much all I could say for the face shifter. And now to come down now let's get into some negatives. So I do like the chest unit. Overall, the chest unit, it is well sculpted, but my only issues with the chest unit, it just sits there. And this explains why it doesn't, it just sits there. I really wish they add like some slots and some pegs to keep the chest unit still, so that way the chest unit is not really moving too much. But that's the only minor complaint I have with the chest unit. It just actually sits there. And like I said, it would be nicer if they added like some slots and some pegs for the chest unit, so that way it can stay still, and that way it's not moving too much, and that way the chest unit is not moving too much. Now to come down here to the legs are actually well sculpted with the color scheme and some amazing details that's lined up perfectly well. My only issues with the lower legs. Now with this leg, you can actually see the peg that slots in here. This actually moves perfectly with this leg section. For my copy, for this leg section here, it just doesn't move. I think that's because the peg section is all the way inside the slot section, which is my only issues that's my only issues with the leg section. This leg section it moves the knee. It does move the knee joint perfectly well, but here it doesn't move the knee joint because the peg is actually inside the slot. So if you want to just move the peg out of the slot section here, you can actually just close the leg back up just like that. And my other issues with the pegs here, they do tend to get in the way. I really wish they found a way to actually hide both of these two pegs to just get things out of the way, but instead they made them look like this. And I don't know, and I honestly have no idea why. But it does actually close the lower leg section perfectly well. And that's pretty much all I can say for the leg section. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say for the leg sections, and that's pretty much it. But most likely, like I said, they could have used some improvements for the lower legs. And that is just get the pegs out of the way. Speaking of the lower legs, he does have these two sections here on each side, which is not bad. And honestly, I think this is not that bad. I think these two sections actually do look really nice. But it would be nice if the lower leg sections would be. I think it would be nice if the lower leg sections cleaned up perfectly well. They do clean up perfectly well. It's these two sections that actually do tend to just look like this. That is pretty much all I can say. But the color scheme here for each side that has the blue and the white does look really cool. And he does have the sculpted feet section. Yeah, he does have the sculpted feet section, which is colored and painted in this gray and white and red color scheme. And he does have the spoilers in the back that probably actually help him stand. And honestly, I think the spoilers in the back actually do actually help him stand perfectly well. I think it depends how you stand him up. But here, I think the spoilers in the back actually do help him stand. I think that explains why they put the spoilers in the back to help him stand. And that is all I can say. And as we come back up here, he does have the white and the red for the shoulder panels. And honestly, I really wish the shoulder panels could have been accurate, but instead they made them look like this. And it's not that, I think they are well sculpted, and also the color scheme here for the shoulder panels look really nice. And he does have these two gray sections here for his arms, and he does have the blue and the white for the lower arms. And the lower arms here are a bit too short. I think they could have made them a little bit longer, but they just made them a bit short, just like this. And he does. But basically, I think the color scheme here, but the color scheme for the lower arms work, but it's just that the lower arms are just too short. And well, they're not that short. It's just that they're just short, just like this. And he does have the two gray sections for both of his fists. And as we come around here to the back. The back here does clean up perfectly well. It's this piece that actually sticks out just a little bit. It doesn't stick out that far. This is how it does actually stick out, and that's but basically but technically the back section actually cleans up perfectly well. And what I really like about the back section here are the doors. The doors are well rotated. You can actually rotate them upwards, just like this, or you can actually just rotate them just like that. But with me, I'd rather just rotate them just like this. But with the back section, that's pretty much all I can say. Now, as we take a look at this badass Transformers Prime accurate head sculpt. Now, the head sculpt here does look absolutely fantastic. It looks pretty damn good. It is well sculpted. It does have some amazing sculpted details. The details line up perfectly well. And he does have the blue for the eyes, the silver for the face, as well as the red and white for the helmet piece. And this really captures the likeness of what Smokescreen's head sculpt looks like, and I think they've done a really good job. I think they've done a really good job of capturing the likeness of Smokescreen's head sculpt. But for the rest of the robot mode, it looks really nice, but there are some things I really like, and there are some things they could have vastly improved. Yeah, the things I talked about, the robot mode could have used some improvements, but they've done a really good job. I think they've done a really good job with the color scheme, the sculpted details, and for the rest of the sculpted details, and also some of the engineering and most of the components for the robot mode. But for the rest of the robot mode, it does look really nice. That is all I can say. So for articulation, his head is on a ball joint a little bit. He can look up, he can look down a little bit, but he can most likely look forward. He can look this way, he can look that way. He can move his arm, elbow joint, wrist joint. He can move this arm, elbow joint, wrist joint. He can move his body. He can move his legs, knee joints, and ankle joints. So if you want to get him into action, so first what you want to do is you want to take this fist section here and you want to rotate it. You want to rotate it inwards just like so. And you want to take one of the ion blasters, and this peg will slot in here. So you just want to just slot that into place just like that. Do the same thing on the opposite side. You want to rotate the fist inwards. You want to take this ion blaster here, and this peg will slot in here, and now you just want to just slot that into place, and you want to just pose him a little bit. So now he's ready for action. And that is pretty much all I could say. And that's pretty much all I could say for Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Smokescreen from Transformers Prime. So what are your initial thoughts on this figure? So if you have this figure, what are your initial thoughts? Do you like it? Yeah, do you like it or you don't like it? What are some things you like? What are some things you don't like? Or what are some things they could have vastly improved? Let me know. But for me, I think they've done a really good job with the robot mode, but there are some things about the robot mode that could have used some improvements, but they could have used some improvements for the robot mode. But overall, I think they've done perfectly well. I think they've done a really good job with the robot mode. So that is pretty much all I could say for the Transformers Age of the Primes Smokescreen. And there's nothing much else to say. So be sure to like, subscribe, press the notification button, follow me on Instagram, and comment down below. And I'll see you on my next video. And thank you for watching.